A thought without verified evidence is just a thought. I need to say this to you guys because so many of you are out there self-sabotaging your relationships because you're making sound decisions, coming to overall conclusions off of thoughts that lack the facts, right? You're using details and making official conclusions and not using facts to come to those conclusions. And the reason I'm saying you're using the details to come to your conclusion and not the facts, even though a lot of times they can be synonymous, facts and details are in actuality not the same exact thing. A lot of you are going into circumstances with your partner for whatever reason, whether maybe you think they're cheating, maybe you think they've done something that's not honorable of you, maybe you think they're being disrespectful of you, maybe you think they were being inconsiderate of you or something like that, right? Off of details that you're noticing, right? Items. Details are kind of the items of facts, but the wrong compilation of how you piece together seeing some items, details, right? Without the rest of the items or details, you may come to conclusions that are not factual. And the worst part about coming to conclusions without the rest of the facts, right? The information needed to come to that conclusion, to where you're coming to it prematurely, is that you usually make a decision and you take action based off of your conclusion. But if that conclusion is absent or void of actually going to your partner, going to the other person to discuss and talk through the details that you have noticed, then you're not going to give yourself a chance to get vital information, vital factual information that adds to or works with the details you noticed to come to a conclusion that what you decided was actually accurate or not. This is typically a huge habit of people with avoidant attachment styles, right? Because they are not used to being vulnerable and opening up and necessarily talking about their feelings and coming to, in a healthy way, talk through confrontation. They tend to avoid it. So a habit they've built up is whenever they see certain details or things happening, instead of going to go get clarity to confirm what they're seeing and what they're therefore feeling as a result of what they're seeing, or at least what they think they're seeing, they go and just make the determination on their own. They come to all the conclusions and work through the whole process on their own and not actually including their partner that is a part of the equation. Come to find out, it was a one-off situation that a coworker at work, because he's working on a project that needed to get done, they were at the deadline, and so they didn't get it done. They're going to be in big trouble with their boss the next day. Reached out and sent that message late night. In the message, apologized for reaching out so late because, they know it was, pretty late into the evening and so forth. But they had to get a final confirmation or the green light on one of the details about this project from her boyfriend, right? From him, in order to go ahead and get things done on their end to finish things up, because they were left working late trying to finish things, but they're both on the hook if they don't get this done right. So he hurried up and responded because it was an emergency situation and went back to bed because they didn't think anything of it. So now she is remorseful and kind of apologetic that she made the assumption and kind of came at him the way she did and being negative and, kind of being rude to him and so forth and more judgy and like an interrogation. And he hears that, he understands, and he knows some of her past. So he gets that, she probably has went through a rough road with men in the past. So he's understanding, but now he's really triggered now. Now he's really cautious. Now he's questioning whether or not she's healthy enough to be in this relationship with him. Because now he's recognizing that the trust isn't able to be there, is authentic and genuine and healthy as it should be, because she has some issues trusting on her regard because she hasn't healed fully from her past. And for him, this questioning of his character was a huge violation because he thinks of himself highly and he's prideful about the person he is. And he doesn't take someone accusing him of things like that lightly because he's come from a past of seeing, men treat women wrong and so forth. And he prides himself on never being like that. He's so offended that it puts things into question. Now they're going off to try to do maybe, a relationship counseling or whatever the case is, to where now a whole problem's been created, to where the relationship is, in question, all because she made an assumption. She assumed the negative and before going to go assume the positive until proven negative, right? Your thoughts are only thoughts until they have the verified evidence to make them facts. And if you feel you have enough details, right? Enough items that supports the assumption you're coming to, even if it is a negative one, do yourself in the actual goals and results you actually want to get a service by going to find out officially by going to the other party in the equation, the only other source that can verify or deny these claims to get confirmation. Now, can they lie to you when you go to them? Absolutely, they could. But someone that has to continuously speak towards the situation, pour more information into the pot. If it's going to be lies they're pouring in there, the more apparent it's going to become to you. The more you'll be able to see it, the more they keep feeding information that doesn't make sense into the equation, right? To where now you can come to a more vetted and verified conclusion instead of a rash and rushed one based off of just your own perception. If you need help learning the skills to communicate with your partner, to gain clarity and get the answers to the questions you need to know to come to a more vetted conclusion instead of making assumptions that might self-sabotage your situation, either email or DM me coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. Now, if you're not ready or in position to do one-on-one coaching or have the time, at least join my Relationship Revival Hub community and take my relationship renewal course there that teaches you everything you need to know the same way I teach it to my clients one-on-one, to where you can learn at your own pace. And I even do weekly live coaching calls to actually break down things that are covered in the course and gives you a chance to ask questions in real time. Either way, let's get it.